two dope dudes, bringing you the news, leading you to much success with all their insightful views. Do you grow yourself or buy from the top shelf? Are you here to take the reins and gain back your health? Whatever it is, you know the biz. Leave a light, crack a pipe, and let's get on with it. If you want to acquire the knowledge, you don't have to go to college. You can just come hang with Aaron and Dave.
Yo, and welcome to the Elevated News Podcast for Two Dope Dudes. We are your source for Midwest cannabis news, culture, and more. I'm Aaron.
I'm Dave.
We are the Two Dope Dudes. What's going on, dude? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
It's Monday.
Sometimes it is. Yep.
Sometimes it's
Every time we do it, it is.
I mean, every time we do it, it is. But
Yeah.
it is another day right now for me. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
You know, low and slow.
Can't rain all the time.
It feels like that is not true lately.
No, we've gotten like 10 inches of rain lately.
Dude,
been
it's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah. We went out this weekend. I spent up in Michigan at the lake house. And
Mm-hmm.
bro, it was like we were out on the water. Oh, it's going to rain. Go back in. Hang
Yeah,
out
you
at the
weren't even
house.
here for all the rain.
Dude, we got pounded out there too.
Really?
Oh, we're on a smaller lake. It's not,
Mhm.
it's man-made. It's got like,
Sure.
it's big, right? Like
Right.
we're taking boats out onto it and stuff, but it's like chill, right? You got little
Yeah.
gentle waves. Now this, where I was watching whitecaps come up, they were like,
Dang.
yeah. And when that's happening, you got some wind surface
Mhm.
thing going on there, you know? But
Yeah.
no, it was crazy, but it was great, dude.
Yeah.
I love Michigan's cannabis market.
It's so nice.
It's
It's the best.
it's fun. It's easy to, try a few different things and not feel like you've just wasted a ton of money. And even when you find something you don't like, it's like, oh, okay, I don't really care. It cost me a few bucks. Like now I just chuck
Right.
it, So no, it was great. Did you do anything good for the 4th or what?
No, it rained, so the 4th was pretty much just bunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, sorry to hear. Yeah. We it did rain for us too, but by the end of the night we were sitting on, actually I got like boat sickness for the first time.
Really?
I didn't like get ill by any means, but like I got off the boat and like I felt like I was still bobbing in the water and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And
that's like where you feel like you're still
Bro.
moving. That's like that's weird.
bro, I went into the shower to go, like, I was like, I got to get all this pond water off of me, whatever. And when I closed my eyes, I was like, oh, the whole house is moving. We're going down. So it took me a little extra trying to get that done.
You reminded me of a story that I wanted to talk about today, but I can't find it.
Nice.
All right, so anyway, my Bud Jon, he reviewed Ozone GMO flower and then IC Collective. I think it's Tallac, Tallac.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
sure he'll tell us exactly. I didn't watch all of it, but yeah. Without any further ado, here is our friend, my Bud Jon.
Have you ever wondered what to buy? Have you ever pondered if that will get you high? Well, don't just go in and guesstimate. Listen close, get you something great like a tender disco yell. My Bud Jon is here to help.
Welcome to another episode of Jon's Reviews and Reports. Today we're doing some Ozone. It is their GMO flower. And then we have some IC Collective. It is the live rosin. This is the Tallac. First, we're going to start with the Ozone GMO. It's their flower. Now, when you open this up, I wasn't quite ready for it. It's got a nice garlicky, funky, gassy earth smell. And honestly, the first time I opened this, it had me sneezing and crying like I was a little baby. Had my eyes watering like I cut into a bag of onions. It was kind of crazy. Hadn't even packed a bowl. Just like bags getting me emotionally ready, I guess. The buds look great. The aroma was exactly what I wanted it to be. Trim job was actually fairly decent. A couple little chunky buds in there, a couple little popcorn guys. Smoked really good. Tasted exactly like you'd expect. Kind of gassy, garlicky, kind of earthy smell, taste. Definitely one of those strains that kind of shows up wearing work boots and not some designer sneakers. This is kind of just what you'd expect it to be. It's a workhorse. It's going to get you high. It's going to do its job. Had me relaxed, settled in nicely. Definitely recommend for a nice wind down at the end of the day. Now let's talk about the Tallac. One thing I like about their product is they have this neat little cap that they put on their stuff. Just kind of a little extra protection layer. Yeah, it's gone. I sampled it. Tried to make sure it was really good for you guys. But anyway, you open it up, kind of get a nice earthy hit and that kind of unmistakable solventless rosin smell. Load it up into the Dr. Dabber. You get some real nice kind of pine, sort of like a citrusy, earthy pine. It was fantastic. I love it. It's not the first time I've bought this one. This is probably my 4th or 5th time scooping this one up. Definitely one of my go-tos. Personally, I feel like it's like smoking a massage. You are stressed, just done with the day, and you take a hit of this, and it's like a breath of fresh air is the best way I could describe it. It almost even tastes like a breath of fresh air. You get that pine freshness from it. It's beautiful. Just kind of the day just melts away off of you, and you just move deeper and deeper into bliss. Pain relief was just outstanding on this one. It just kind of hits you like a freight train, but the freight train picked up your pain and took it away instead of hit you and left you with a bunch of it. It was good. Both of these, I would give thumbs up. Definitely good pickups. The rosin's fantastic. The flower's really good too. They kind of upgraded their product bags. They're prettier than they used to be. So yeah, do a quick dab, and we'll get out of here and let you guys enjoy the rest of the show. Tallac, it's awesome. It's piney. It's everything that not their flower of the Tallac is amazing as well. Definitely a suggest there as well. I've picked that one up a few times. It's got that pine that you probably haven't tasted in years. It's good. I like it. Until next time, guys, let's blaze.
I have actually smoked the Tallac. It is pretty darn good. And
Yeah.
oh yeah. And it's I love the it's like smoking a massage. That's brilliant. But I also do like Ozone's GMO. It's pretty true to what a GMO is supposed to be.
I do like GMO. GMO flour is not my favorite, but GMO rosin is.
Yeah.
I do like that.
That gassy, garlicky, yeah, that's my jam.
Well, and thanks to My Bud Jon for another great review. I love he's always doing dabs off the Dr. Dabber, and I like to do dabs off the Dr. Dabber while I watch My Bud Jon too. That's one of my favorite times because I don't have to talk. You know.
Yeah, that happened.
Speaking of not talking, are you ready to do YouTube comments?
Oh, of course.
All right, Dave, you got them up?
I do.
I got them sorted by new. How about you?
That's what I got.
All right, cool. Let's do it. Right.
We've got Grojo. Hey, dope people. Great show as always. What device does Jon use for dabs? And he is currently using the Dr. Dabber Ghost 2, which you can get 10% off by going to the website and putting in the code
SDP.
That's it.
Support dope people. Support dope people was too long, so I chose SDP. DrDabber.com.
That was, man.
Yep.
That was
Cha-ching.
nice. Yeah.
Gotta have that noise so you know we're gonna cut it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
The Happy Heretic. Pekin, Illinois, checking in. Hell yeah. Let's go, Pekin. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking in too.
Thanks for checking in. How's it? How is it down there? That's what I want to know. How's Pekin? I know they got a new dispensary. Miggy 420 and Tom Howard from Cannabis Legalization News. Oh, you see him right there, right over here. These guys right here.
Wow, there he is.
They just opened a dispensary in Pekin, Illinois. Neither of them, I don't think either of them live in Illinois. Well, maybe Tom lives in Illinois. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. How is it? It's right across from the courthouse, I hear. Pretty cool.
Oh, nice. That's sweet. How crazy is it that you have to go to court for your cannabis possession, but then there's a place directly across the street that is in possession of way more cannabis than you're ever going to be fined for? Yeah. Well, welcome to it.
Yeah,
high grade episode, fellas, from the Macho Grams.
Macho Grams, Gramsby Savage.
Thanks for another weekly banger. Thank you for another great comment. Always making me feel great about it. 22 DMAC 55. There's definitely a lot more fellow Wisconsin residents choosing to drive further to Michigan to make their purchases. Not sure how much that plays into the numbers overall, but there are definitely fewer folks going to South Beloit or Rockford, etc., even though it's closer. And I know that to be true also. I do believe that even then, shooting up into the Upper Peninsula makes more sense too, depending on where you're at. So yeah, thanks 22 DMAC, and hopefully some laws change up there for y'all in the near future. Oh man, Dr. Dank Nugs, not just two dope dudes, but two dope friends.
Yeah.
You know how I would love nothing more than to hang out with Dr. Dank Nugs. But you can on Monday nights, the best damn grow show. Yeah.
True story.
Nugs.
I was just coughing my brains out over here.
That's allowed.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
It was like it was one of those delayed coughs. Like I held it in, then finally it was like, nope. It's 5 minutes later. You got a cough.
Yep. You're waiting for your friend to tee off on the tee box. Hurry up, dude. Throw that shot. I need to choke it out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for all the YouTube comments or any comments in any of the platforms.
Yeah.
Please,
we appreciate
that. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then right before we get into our news now, let's do this. Let's do plugs real quick. And then you can find us, the Elevated News Podcast, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our iHeartRadio, and all your other favorite podcasts and streaming apps. Two Dope Dudes YouTube channel. Give us a like, leave a review. This helps us reach more people. We do love your comments, and we read them out on the show like Dave just did. Then come check out my friend Dave on Thursdays.
On Thursday night on YouTube, I go live so that I can talk to y'all about cannabis. I do love the plant, and I would love nothing more than to help you take your health back into your own hands. 8 p.m. Central Time. Pop on in. Peace, love, and cope. Thank you all.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into some fun news. I said we were going to talk about that this last week, and we are going to do it. Here's a public service announcement. Metric tags, which is the by law has to be used for all regulated cannabis dispensaries, correct? This is the software that all dispensaries must use, all cultivators must use as well. Metric tags, it's how they track from seed to sale. Metric tags test positive for Prop 65 chemicals, lead, arsenic, and BPA, and maybe other chemicals. So all of the cannabis plants have to have a metric tag on them from clone to the time they are harvested and beyond. Attached to the actual plant. So this person says, as an OSHA certified safety manager, I am required to alert my employees when they are handling Prop 65 chemicals. I feel a moral and ethical obligation to let others know as well. I did alert the DCC to this, and I offered to share the lab results with them. There is a public video of a DCC Cannabis Advisory Committee meeting from November 2025 where I publicly and clearly alerted the DCC that I had lab tested the metric tags and that the tags tested positive for multiple Proposition 65 chemicals. I also offered to share the lab results with the DCC, a member of the UFCW union. The union, who's supposed to be standing up for worker safety, was also on the Cannabis Advisory Committee and was alerted to this potential health risk to cannabis employees. Both the DCC and UFCW never responded, and still public is not aware that these tags contain Prop 65 chemicals. So it also says down here, the chemicals appear to be in the exterior plastic, not the RFID chip. So this is the exterior of the tags that people touch. What do you think, Dave?
I think it's gross.
Yeah.
I think it's a massive oversight. And I think that we do way too many things for immediate personal profit before we do it for public safety. And to not consider public safety before implementing massive changes like this. But these changes aren't just like, hey, let us kind of figure it out. No, it's immediately change, do this, or we're fining you. And then if you don't comply all the time, then we're going to revoke your licenses.
Yeah, then you can't operate within the system that we've set up. And that's always, I think that's part of the pushback on a lot of these regulations too, by a lot of people, because we always say, hey, our lawmakers don't have time to read this and really understand what's going into these laws sometimes. And so sometimes, a lot of times we'll get a lot of bad things passed, that are required that are not healthy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I said that we were talking about this. This was going around not long ago, like last week, and me and some friends and some people, even within the regulated market, were like, yeah, of course they do. Like, nobody I talked to was actually surprised. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And that's, God, I mean, he brings up the greatest points. What if an employee handles hundreds of thousands of these tags per day? It appears that nobody has even thought to test these tags for toxins. And that's like, I mean, there's great questions that this man brings up in this article here, or this post here.
Yeah. Crazy shit.
Yeah.
Not sure how it just, I don't know. It's it is what it is. Like
And
of course.
metric's taken over a lot of markets. I do
I mean,
believe that
all of
metric.
them.
Yeah,
It's required. BioTrack is the software used for the cultivators or the greenhouses, and Metric is used from seed to sale for every dispensary in the United States by law.
yeah.
That was part of it, and Metric and BioTrack.
Yeah, but the metric tags that are being put on are being used at the cultivation level. So like,
Yes, yeah, no,
yeah, so
it's from
they're
seed to
all,
sale.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, sickos. Because there used to be, I think, like 3 or 4 different tracking systems for
well,
cannabis. It
yeah,
was
and
BioTrack, MMJ Highway, I think, was one of them.
which really that was
That
like a
died off
West
early.
Coast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Of course it does. On to better news. Virginia's new marijuana and hemp laws, everything you need to know. Virginia just legalized cannabis, which is great. And this should take effect, I believe, 2027. Following legislative battles, vetoes, and compromise negotiations, Virginia now has a roadmap for legal recreational marijuana sales. The state budget signed into law established a regulated cannabis marketplace. This is awesome.
Hell yeah.
Virginia will launch regulated retail marijuana sales July 1st, 2027, as authorized by House Bill 30. The CCA is developing the regulations and establishing a licensing process for businesses interested in participating in the retail marijuana market.
Because they already have a medical program,
I believe
right?
so, yeah.
Okay.
House Bill 30 will also move the Office of Hemp Enforcement's responsibilities for regulated hemp products from VDACS to the CCA, which is anticipated to occur in August 2026. Current hemp product rental facility registrations will remain valid until their expiration. Registered retailers of the hemp products and growers of industrial hemp will receive direct communication from VDACS with more information how the forthcoming legislative and administrative changes will affect them. The legislation eliminates the 25-to-1 ratio that allowed a hemp product to exceed 2 milligrams of total THC if the product contained 25 parts CBD for every 1 part THC. You got that, Dave?
Got it.
Okay. Beginning August 15th, a product with more than 2 milligrams of total THC per package cannot be produced or sold as a hemp product in Virginia.
So what about products with THCA? So
Hey, I'm trying to THC over here.
Yeah, I wonder if, because like that verbiage, if a state signs that into effect, then you pretty much have still allowed THCA flower to be sold regularly because the package would not contain, 2 milligrams of THC might be. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Senate Bill 543 gives the CCA new authority to enforce Virginia's cannabis laws, such as taking enforcement action against unlicensed cannabis and hemp businesses and issue notices of violation, cease and desist orders, and civil penalties.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I just wonder if so the people who have the gray market lockdown, I wonder if at some point they don't find which set of state laws benefit them the best, move their business to that place, and then at the risk of notices of violation, cease and desist order, or a civil penalty, we go, oh, okay, give me my cease and desist letter, then I'll move it to somewhere else, right?
Maybe.
I think that there's still, because from forever, I've been thinking that the gray market will find a way.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
They're trying super hard.
It's the same thing as like all the hype seed vendors going, "Hey, seeds are going away," but like, y'all, we've been getting seeds online since like 2004, 2005. It's
bingo.
not. It's like it. You can still get
Well,
them.
Okay, so
it's
then
a secret.
so then what? Change it from the
Birdseed.
yeah. Change
I
it from
shouldn't
the
be.
gray market to the fucking black market then? Because the
I
shift, I
guess.
don't think goes from gray market to, oh my God, all of a sudden the only option for me is the legal market,
Right.
the
Well,
enforced market.
check out what the Cole, and we'll probably talk about that in a little bit, but check out what the Cole memo, and this is a little teaser. Check out what the Cole memo has said about where you can buy seeds in Illinois, like where are you legally allowed to purchase seeds. But
Yeah.
lots
I mean,
of enforcement coming down is what I'm saying, and that's the thing I've been saying for a long time is like, hey, watch yourselves because things are going to start getting dicey here because more and more states and more are writing laws to enforce cannabis again. Like the war on marijuana is started up again, and it's hell. Why do you think they hired all those IRS people? Because they know they're going to legalize cannabis, and they're going to have to go around and collect taxes on all these cannabis grows. That's why they hired 30,000 armed IRS agents years ago.
wow.
Like if you want to get conspiratorial.
Dude, I'll build a tinfoil hat right now.
I'm just saying. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
congratulations, Virginia. That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's super good. I mean, sucks for the gray market, sucks
Yep.
for hemp producers.
Sure.
But that wave, we all knew it was coming no matter what,
Yep.
right? But I keep saying what I'm saying because I believe that somebody is going to figure out the workarounds on how
Yeah.
to still exist in the gray market and how to still, because a lot of people are losing jobs in their livelihood. Like I know
Yeah.
a guy who opened a hemp business, runs the hemp business solely. He's put his family's money into this thing to run the thing, and like what transition does he have to make to stay viable in his space, or does he have to go back to corporate America? Because
I mean, that's what we're seeing some farms do,
yeah,
unfortunately. Hey, our friends in Kentucky, new
hey,
change limits where Kentucky medical cannabis card holders can purchase.
Gare Bear,
Kentuckians with medical cannabis cards are no longer protected when purchasing products out of state, thanks to a July 1st rule change. Previously, under an executive order issued in 2022, state cardholders could purchase and transport medical marijuana products to Kentucky within limits. That pardon has been rescinded,
oh, that is cool.
and
I mean, it's not.
Kentuckians can now only legally purchase medical cannabis within the state.
I think
Sam
that-
Flynn, special advisor to Governor Andy Beshear and former executive director of the Office of Medical Cannabis, said it was always the governor's plan to rescind the pardon once the state stood up its own agriculture and retail marijuana operations. Quote, it's only about getting medical cannabis in the hands of those people who are allowed to have it and need to have it, and not in the hands of anyone else. It's my cannabis and I want it now. Flynn said. That's what we aim to do, and I think we've done that fairly successfully. I just sounded so whiny.
Yeah, it was great, dude.
It was
You nailed
just
it.
so whiny. At the end of June, Kentucky has 26,000
Yeah.
active medical cannabis card holders. The cards are available to those with a qualifying condition such as PTSD, cancer, and MS. After a slow lottery and licensing process, private cannabis businesses are starting to bloom in Kentucky, Flynn said. Let's see, is there anything else? There's 17 dispensaries in Kentucky. Border states Ohio, Illinois, and Missouri also legalize cannabis, but Kentucky cardholders can no longer bring back products even if the dispensary is closer or the price is better. Obviously, there's no interstate commerce, so all of this is happening right here inside Kentucky, building a brand new market and a brand new conveyor for these products to ultimately get to the people who need medical cannabis, Flynn said.
So
yeah.
Is this a packaging thing again? Oh, there it is. It says it in the single line right there. Kentucky manufactured cannabis products are denoted with a symbol on the packaging. So all that this is the same song and dance. It's the dumbest regulation that any place tries to make.
Yeah.
So if it's cheaper for them to go somewhere else, why the fuck would they keep buying cannabis from your state because they're forced to? They're going to go buy one package of cannabis from your state with the
Well, we all
biggest
know
one that they
murder's
can,
illegal.
and then what's that?
We all know murder's illegal. Since we
Yeah.
made it illegal, nobody does it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying it.
I mean, laws don't mean shit unless there's enforcement. And
how do you?
Right.
You're not putting a label on the flower product itself. You're putting a label on the package. So you're enforcing packaging rules. So if you exist in Kentucky, you drive over, grab the shit from whatever cheaper state that there was, and you put that stuff inside your Kentucky marked packaging, and then you drive it back. And theoretically speaking, because you are legally in possession of the Kentucky cannabis packaging, once you re-enter the state, you're fine. And when you're out of state, because it's in their packaging, you're legally in possession in their state. So the package transfer that you do at the border, that's as rough of an experience as you would have to have. And who the hell is like, what are you doing with that cannabis packaging over there? I'm here to enforce it. I'm just saying, cheaper is better.
I mean, cheaper can be better, not always.
Well,
I don't always say cheaper is better.
The problem
you have to add, well, no,
let me add that the same states are growing, or the same companies are growing in both of the states. So if you're going to get Blam Fill In Weedman's product in Kentucky, but Weedman also has shops in Illinois,
if
Missouri,
they both grow
Ohio,
shitty weed, then it doesn't matter.
Well, Weedman's the same everywhere.
Then the weed, then yes. If it's all the
Weedman
same,
has proprietary products.
Sure,
they grow under a certain set of formulations, right? It's all just read the chart and go plant it and bring it back. So, like, it's in that instance, cheaper.
It's hard
is
to
better.
make nature proprietary. I mean, we're literally growing weeds and vines. You know what I mean? Like, your vegetable garden is just weeds and vines.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's all it is, man. Like, people like, oh, I gotta have like plants don't care about your proprietary fucking HPS fucking spectrum that your light dep schedule that you have down to the minute that you think makes the difference. The plants don't give a shit.
No, but that's what I'm saying is if it's all just that.
Yeah, if it's all shitty weed, then it doesn't matter how much you pay for it. You're right.
Everything is just read the chart, go based off the chart. It's a timed experience. All you have to do is react when we tell you to react. We'll micromanage you through a spreadsheet and now go do it. You're going to get a very similar product.
That's why we should just go back and make cannabis illegal.
I'm into it.
Get the states out of it, because like all these corporations growing weed are terrible.
Yeah, they want to keep this bullshit up. Like, do it as a I don't even know. I was gonna say, it's not true. Keep it up as the go test it. Let it be that weed. Yeah,
we said tax and legalize it and tax it like
research,
like alcohol. We didn't say fucking take it over.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Enforcement and micromanagement are very real in that space.
Hey, IDOA released informational bulletin for the new Illinois Hemp Act. So our friends over at Illinois News Joint, Jason Brown. They released a bulletin that details the immediate changes to the Industrial Hemp Act. On November 12th, 2026, the Industrial Hemp Act will be repealed and replaced with the new Illinois Hemp Act. The Illinois Hemp Act creates a full regulatory framework for hemp and hemp products from cultivation to sale. It also adopts the federal law definition of hemp. Effective immediately, all cannabinoid products that contain more than 0.4 milligrams of THC or other cannabinoids that have similar effects as THC, such as Delta-8, THCP, THCO, and AHC, may only be offered for sale to individuals over age of 21. Age verification is required for any individual who appears to be under age 30. Additionally, effective immediately, all hemp products must meet certain product labeling requirements.
So they're still allowing Delta 8, THCP, THCO, and HHC to be sold, but only to people ages 21 and older.
Well, let's look at the information bulletin.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, may only be offered to sale to individuals over age of 21. That is correct.
There you go.
Here is what the label must contain: the product name, the net weight or volume of the product, a complete list of ingredients, identity and quantity of each cannabinoid present in the product expressed in milligrams, including, not excluding, including the total THC content. For non-infused products, cannabinoid content by percentage content by weight is acceptable. Number of servings per container, a batch or lot number, name and contact information of the manufacturer, distributor, and an expiration date. All hemp products shall not contain the following: any false or misleading claim, including that the product is a cannabis product. Okay. Who decides what is false or misleading? Is there a list of what is false and misleading? Who is the group of individuals who sits and decides for each label? Like, do they have to send that in? That's crazy.
But what my thing is, then do they have to put that this is a hemp product? And you know what I mean, like including the product
is
as
it
a
a hemp
cannabis product. So you
product?
have to include it's a hemp product.
Well, you can't say that it's cannabis, but hemp is cannabis, right?
Yeah.
So can you actually say that it's a hemp product? Like by law, don't you have to specify that it is a cannabis product? Like that seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, but in the specifically all hemp products
put
must
butter
contain a
on
label.
toast and put it on the back of a cat, it'll just spin, right? It's like the same thing with this law. Like it just counterbalances each other out.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense though, because so
what?
do they not? They don't have to put that this is a hemp product on there, but you can't put that it is a cannabis product. But similar effects as THC, things that have similar effects as THC, which we're all so scared of THC because it's intoxicating and can be sold to kids. Now, all of a sudden, Delta 8, THCP, THCO, and HHC are all viable products that are similarly effective as THC, and we're going to allow them to be sold to people over the age of 21, but the packaging, it's similar,
sure,
but it's so.
Yeah, I guess.
It's
weird.
I can't believe it's not cannabis. Is that what they got to put on there?
I can't believe it's not cannabis spray.
Yeah, cannabis zero.
Yes.
I mean? Yeah,
Crystal cannabis.
Yeah.
Stop giving Cresco ideas. Crystal cannabis.
Diet cannabis is what
Diet Crystal cannabis plus.
Dude, THCV cannabis with the diet cannabis. I can't wait, dude.
Here's the updated definition of hemp. It says here the state says the most important change in the Illinois Hemp Act is the updated definition of hemp that follows the new federal definition of hemp. Whether or not a plant can be considered hemp is a legal question. Wait a second. I just wanted to. Okay. Just going back to check that real quick. I thought maybe if I went back, it was never there.
Dude, the first words. Okay. Hemp in fucking quotation marks means the plant Cannabis sativa L. But we cannot mislead with false information, including that the product is a cannabis product.
Okay. So whether or not the plant, here we are, whether or not a plant can be considered hemp is a legal question. The plant Cannabis sativa L can only be considered hemp if it meets the statutory definition of hemp. Effective November 12, 2026, the term hemp will be statutorily defined, that means by law, in Illinois as follows. Hemp means the plant Cannabis sativa L and any part of that plant, including the seeds thereof and all derivatives, extracts, cannabinoids, isomers, acids, salts, and salts of isomers, whether growing or not, with a total tetrahydrocannabinol concentration, including tetrahydrocannabinolic acid, of not more than 0.3% on a dry weight basis. Hemp includes industrial hemp. Hemp does not include any of the following: any viable seeds from a Cannabis sativa L plant that exceeds a total tetrahydrocannabinols concentration, including tetrahydrocannabinolic acid of 0.3 in a plant on a dry weight basis. Sounds like they are regulating seeds and defining what seeds are and are not. B, any intermediate hemp-derived cannabinoid product containing any of the following: cannabinoids not capable of naturally produced in a Cannabis sativa L plant, cannabinoids that are capable of being naturally produced by a Cannabis sativa L plant and were synthesized or manufactured outside of the plant, or C, more than 0.3 combined total tetrahydrocannabinols, including THCA and any other cannabinoids that have similar effects or are marketed to have similar effects on humans or animals.
So
yeah.
Oh, my brain's starting to hurt drawing the connections from what they say to what they say you can't. Like, it's just, this is the most jumble fuck of verbiage I've ever seen in my life. And it's a poor representation. What they've tried to do, and I think the big part of everything that you've read so far is in those little brackets right under the word hemp in quotation marks. It says including tetrahydrocannabinolic acid. There is definitely, because of not more than 0.3% on a dry weight basis is what hemp was defined as before.
Correct.
So it's literally the same definition. They wrapped in, they put one little statement in there, and now they're making all of these claims about what the plant is and isn't, how you're supposed to represent it. They're allowed to call hemp cannabis, but you're not allowed to put your hemp product as a cannabis product because you're misleading information. Like, what a jumble of...
Well, this is what happens when, instead of saying, hey, we wrote the Farm Bill specifically to do this, we're going to legalize cannabis. Instead, we talked about how it was a loophole. And so now all of the states got butthurt about a loophole and are, now fixing that. Making sure that it's not a loophole. They're fixing a thing instead of just going, hey, we're actually doing this on purpose because, this is good. Now we're corporate taking it over and changing all of it. That's why we had to call it a loophole. So it says here, the state says the key aspects of the new hemp definition. The new hemp definition makes clear that intoxicating products that are produced or derived from the Cannabis sativa L plant are not hemp. Specifically, the definition includes cannabinoids and derivatives that are not naturally produced from the plant, as well as products that contain more than 0.4 milligrams of total THC, including THCA, and any other cannabinoid with similar effects. See Section 15 of the Illinois Hemp Act for a full list of cannabinoids that are considered to have similar effects to THC. The list includes Delta-8, THC, THCP, HHC, and THCO. Next bullet point here says, the federal definition of hemp requires that the Food and Drug Administration to publish a list of cannabinoids that are capable of being naturally produced by the Cannabis sativa L plant, as well as a list of cannabinoids that have similar effects to THC or marketed to have similar effects to THC. The Illinois Hemp Act creates similar lists in statute, that means by law, so they can enforce it, that will be supplemented by the federal list when that list is completed. And thirdly here, the new definition clarifies that the plant shall contain less than 0.3 total THC, which, in brackets here, it says, includes both Delta-9 THC and THCA. total THC was already required under the United States Department of Agriculture and IDOA standards for hemp cultivation. This definition also explicitly states that non-cannabinoid industrial hemp is also considered hemp.
Dude,
That's page 2 of 4. We haven't even gotten to the fun stuff yet.
Yeah. Oh,
Regulation of hemp products. Dave, do you have something quick that you would like to say about that before we move on?
No, it's
because you're seeing it coming here.
Yeah.
Regulation of hemp products, on to page 3. Effective November 12th. This is what the state is telling us. This is what the state of Illinois is telling the people. This is the information that's released. You should listen especially when the state tells you something, you should definitely listen. Because they're like, hey, we're going to come get you, and we're going to tell you we're going to come get you.
Yeah.
So it says here, regulation of hemp products. Effective. No more, I bought it at the gas station, huh? It's going to be real hard.
Yeah, but not really, because just if it's THCP or THCO or you know what I mean? What are they going to do? Start taking
we have
products
17,
back to the lab from people and testing them?
We have a state lab now. We also have 17 Illinois State Police that are trained as phlebotomists. On to page 3, regulation of hemp products, effective November 12th, 2026. All final consumer hemp cannabinoid products sold in Illinois will be prohibited from containing alcohol, tobacco, or nicotine, cannot be intended for, wait, hold on a second here. Cannot be intended for smoking or vaping, and must consist of only FDA-recognized safe ingredients. Products must also be prepackaged and cannot be assembled or combined with other consumables at the point of sale.
Wait, so they can't, even if...
All final consumer hemp cannabinoid products sold in Illinois will be prohibited from containing alcohol, good, I guess.
Yeah, whatever.
Sure. Tobacco. I'm not Israeli. I don't smoke shisha. Or nicotine, and I quit smoking, so I don't need nicotine. Okay, so I'm fine with all those. Cannot be intended for smoking or vaping.
So they're trying to forget.
Yeah.
Forget the definition of hemp.
Just for cannabinoids.
Yeah,
you can't just say this is pure
of hemp.
Cannabinoids.
Yeah. Unbelievable. This is kind of wild, because it's like more than just redefining hemp. It's trying to tell you what you can and can't sell. So all smokables are gone, but we're going to allow you to still make the edibles. We're still going to allow the monsters who already have drinks in stores, like the MSOs and the whatever.
Targets we're
gonna let them go. They're okay, but this is weird, because what if I had a pure CBD flower product? What if I had a pure CBD, THCP, THCO, HHC vape pen? Now all of a sudden they can't be smoked. So this is a
final consumer hemp cannabinoid products will also be subject to the following testing, labeling, and packaging requirements. Testing. Sample. This is like the same.
It's drawing a line in the sand for who they're able to make enforcements on. And that's what this is saying right here. The regulation. This is enforcement over regulation. They will now, if you ever have a vape pen in your pocket, they can say, well, they're not allowed to make hemp vape pens anymore. So back in the day, I literally got away with it multiple times. What is this? Oh, it's hemp. It came from the gas station. And then they were like, well, we know that the gas stations can
then
sell.
They throw it back in the car in disgust, and Dave has a great Thursday night story to tell.
Yeah, specifically. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's...
Oh, that bitch was so mad.
Yeah. I also, too, have been pulled over with cannabis product on me before, and cops have been very cool and calm about it. Like, it's all of this enforcement shit is also who you run into. But also how hard you're pressing what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Because even if the smallest guy who's super nice, the nicest guy in the enforcement, if he sees a big enough bag of something, he's going to go, what the fuck is that? I don't know. I don't want to handle this. I'm going to call somebody else who will. And
And finally here, penalties under federal law. This is the important part, because let's scroll back up real quick. Here's the first. This is from the state, right? I don't. Okay. This is bolded, right? This is bolded, right?
Yeah.
Because we're bolding things that are important, correct? That's why we would bold things, because we want people to see. Printed by authority of state of Illinois, web only, 1 copy, right?
Yeah.
Bolded, okay. What else is bolded? Regulation of hemp product, bolded. Oh, penalties, okay. Under federal law, parts of the plant cannabis sativa L that do not meet the definition of hemp are classified as marijuana, a Schedule I controlled substance under the Controlled Substances Act, which if Congress or the state wanted to actually legalize cannabis, they have had the power since, I don't know, like the beginning of the CSA to change it and repeal it. So don't believe any of your lawmakers that talk about any of it unless they're voting to repeal the Controlled Substances Act for cannabis. Similarly, in Illinois, if a plant cannabis sativa L does not meet the definition of hemp in the new Illinois Hemp Act, it will be considered cannabis. Here, bolded, products that do not meet the definition of hemp are considered cannabis and may be subject to penalties for the unlicensed sale of cannabis. Why is that the only other thing bolded in the whole thing, Dave? Enforcement. Manufacturing and delivery of cannabis without license, as well as possession of cannabis above CRTA possession limits, remains illegal under the Illinois Cannabis Control Act. The Cannabis Control Act, depending on the amount, imposes penalties that range from a Class B misdemeanor up to a 6-month sentence to a Class X felony, 6 to 30-year sentence, and up to a $200,000 fine.
Yeah, they are and enforcement.
Yes, and I know people, including Dave, I have heard say, it's a civil fine to grow cannabis outside, but
until you cultivate, there's a fine line there. Okay,
there is,
if the plant
and the thing
growing,
is, it is also up to the local. Your local, they may or may not decide that it's only a fine. It is just that sometimes you can get off with it just being a fine, but it's also on the Illinois noxious weeds list, and it is a felony to grow.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So there you go. In addition to the Cannabis Control Act, entities that sell or distribute cannabis products without a license can face unlicensed practices by actions by the Department of Financial and Professional Regulation and Department of Agriculture, tax penalties by the Department of Revenue, as well as any federal or local enforcement of cannabis penalties. The unlicensed sale of cannabis is also considered an unlawful practice under the Consumer Fraud and Deceptive Practices Act. In addition, entities that sell or distribute products that meet the definition of hemp, but do not meet the definition, the Illinois Hemp Act product requirements, may be subject to civil penalties by the department, and the sale of the products is considered an unlawful practice under the Consumer Fraud and Deceptive Practices Act. I will TLDR this for you. The state is going to use all of its enforcement powers, all of its departments to come after you. It's coming. They're telling you it's coming. They're going to get you at taxes. They're going to get you Department of Agriculture. That's your noxious weeds list, right? They're going to get you Department of Financial and Professional Regulation. If you're like, trying to go under the radar with your license or something, they're going to get you there too. They're going to get you federally. They're going to get you locally. They're coming for you. It's coming. I don't know any other way to see it.
Yeah.
And if you disagree with me, tell me why. Tell me why. Please tell me why. All of you out there, leave me a comment. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, this whole document here, and it's like all laws, right? It's just for the
And then they talk
it's
about
for the
the hemp.
benefit of the state.
Then they talk
This
about the
isn't
hemp
for-
processing and the hemp manufacturing license and
Yeah. I just it sucks because there are a lot of people who were very lawfully
absolutely.
operating businesses.
Look at all the
and
grocery stores that have gone
providing-
out of business.
Oh, I know. It's very sad.
It is.
Yeah. And like, I mean, we've talked about it a bunch here. It's they're attempting to take full control over the process. They are trying to eliminate a gray market, because the gray market was actually legally operating. It was fully,
Mhm.
you were able to do as you please. Where in a black market, they absolutely can use enforcement and they're going to take full advantage of you. We already know it's black market. You're doing something illegal according to
Yep.
their rules. And now, even on the other side, like in the white market, I guess, whatever the hell you would say, they are, they're fully in control of that process too. And even if you have your hemp license, depending on their interpretation of what you're doing,
Right.
they may still be able to use enforcement against you. So, like, yeah, having some hemp licenses outside of for purely like industrial use might be tough to stay within levels of compliance with. And just like when cannabis came to Illinois, they weren't sure if they were going to be able to stay within the parameters.
I remember that.
And they were like, I mean, how are we supposed to make it so that there's only 5 parts per million butane left in these products? When other states have 500, 800 part per million laws. And like, so anyway, it was just processes and figuring things out, and they did it and they figured it out. So I'm sure some people will, and I hope they do. But
yeah,
this kind of sucks for a lot of, especially friends that we've made over time. Who do hemp
absolutely.
things, who are very,
who did hemp things,
who damn did. Well, and they still, there's a lot of it can still happen. Like it would be great to always be able to get Sun Drenched Farm CBD capsules because they are great. But the loopholes and everything to jump through, it just doesn't make it worth it. Especially when there's this veil pulled over it that like we made it legal, so now it's better and realer. Because the FDA has approved it. It's an FDA approved thing. You have a license that approved you. Now somehow you make a more viable medical product than the other person does. It's the misconception when people walk into the dispensary, they go, okay, this is a dispensary, so all the weed's going to be really good. This is the legal market. Everything's going to be great. And there is this,
it's all tested, so it's
all
good.
tested. It's all whatever. And then, as we all know,
I don't want tested weed.
Give
me untested. I'd rather smoke untested weed. I don't want tested weed
1,000% of the time.
And just because we talked about this real quick, episode 297.
Yeah, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can still hear you. I know exactly what you did. Go ahead. I will talk about this while you go and fix that. Episode 297 Illinois Home Grow. Can medical patients actually buy cannabis seeds? This was the episode that I was talking about that on the Cole Memo. You can go to thecolememo.com and find this. And it's got links to his episode here. And this is, he revisits reporting dating back to 2020, examines the 2022 response from state officials identifying, you can fix your background if you want, Dave, before Cannabis Corner.
Yeah,
and I can read this. Response from state officials identifying Illinois seed-to-sale software as a potential obstacle and asks whether that technical limitation still exists after the state's transition to a new tracking system. He also explores why this question has become more important following Illinois' latest cannabis law changes, which are expected to significantly restrict access to cannabis seeds through traditional retail and online hemp channels, as we just read. He breaks down what the law says, what state agencies have told him, what they have not answered, and why transparency on this issue matters for home growers. Oh, the other thing I want to do real quick, I'm going to do, I just thought about this. I want to officially congratulate Cole. The Cole memo was listed as a top cannabis podcast on FlowHub.
Nice.
Yeah. Well deserved
Yeah.
by the Cole memo. Love that guy. He is super cool. I'm not gonna go ahead and but there was a list and Cole was on. I thought he was going to show the list. My bad. Anyway, Cole, congratulations. You're absolutely the man. Very well deserved. Everybody go to this video right here. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Tell Cole that it's very well deserved, and he is the frickin' man, and he's super cool, and we love him. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, that's great.
Anyway, we're gonna do Dave's conditional cannabis corner.
You got some symptoms from your condition to help you feel better. That is my mission. At the conditional cannabis corner, you can get that information, and it won't even cost you a quarter.
Welcome back, my friends. I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in always. Today, because we're so close to the old 710, I figured I'd have a quick conversation on concentrate. Concentrate is the extraction of cannabinoids, terpenoids, flavonoids, whilst leaving behind plant materials. There's multiple different ways of extraction. Some people use hydrocarbons of the sort, like butane. We have a like a cleaner process, and then like a CO2. There is distillation. There is water washing and pressing and through heat. So there's solventless. There's tons of different. Many of you probably know this, but for those who don't, concentrate. It's been around forever. It's the old school. They used to make finger hash, any form of hash, any form of rubbing the plant and leaving the plant behind and taking the extract off of it. And it's effective in many ways. And there are many of people who benefit from the use of concentrate, where for some of us it might be too much. It's a little too intoxicating, or it's a little too whatever, expensive maybe if you don't have the budget for it. But for a lot of people, higher potency is great. There's so many breakthrough treatments. I mean, and because of its potency, its ability to be quickly effective is awesome. For pain patients, this works really well when they have a flare up of sorts. For um, uh, Parkinson's, okay, when they start to have tremors, having a concentrate, a quick inhalable, something that delivers to the system quick. If they're having a Parkinson's flare up, it's something that's quick and faster, more effective typically. There's plenty of people who are benefited by, or conditions that are benefited by the use. But there's also discretion. I think that is why vape pens are as acceptable as they are nowadays. All vape pens are concentrate as well. But then also too, it might be safer than smoking or combusting flower product. And I think that makes sense to all of us. Actually taking a flame to something, setting fire, and causing that level of resinous response might not be as beneficial as vaporizing the concentrate of those things. So, tons of different uses. We also, every edible that you've ever consumed, ever is a concentrate. Nobody uses full plant in edibles. Even decarboxylating a piece of flower and trying to eat that, though you could and get the effects of it, who wants to eat plant materials? So concentrates are massively beneficial to a lot of different experiences in this plant, and it gives a lot of people access to cannabis without being forced to combust cannabis flower, which a lot of us are very comfortable doing. But equally as many people who want to use cannabis will never, they're just not smokers. So they're your edible folks. They might even, through convincing, use a vape pen, and they may do so because of the discretion of it. But if you explain to them the breakthrough capabilities of it, where sitting and waiting for an edible to kick in takes way too long, there is benefit in concentrates across the board. And again, I think you have removed some of the harmful products, right? Just a regular plant material, let's assume that it was just leafy green, whatever, and it's not covered in resins that are cannabinoids or whatever, you wouldn't just go necessarily start combusting it. It's smoking cigarettes, that's all washed with nicotine. They wouldn't do it if it didn't have the nicotine on it. I don't know anybody who's just picking up lettuce and smoking lettuce. That might be the best. Yeah, out of everything that's been said today, don't smoke lettuce, okay? But concentrate, there's plenty of it available out there, and if it's so effective, that's why 710 is cool. But everybody believes that it's some dab holiday. 710 really celebrates to me, and this is where, like, the hallmarky ness of the holidays doesn't really land with me. But when we really think about what it is and what it does for the entire culture, but also for what the plant is capable of, the extract of that plant is in many different ways very beneficial to humans in again, every different exaggeration of method of ingestion too. So there's no, whether it's inhalation or edibles or whatever, there's no rhyme or right or wrong. But for you, maybe it's the best thing you can do. Just don't smoke the lettuce. And that's it. I love y'all.
I'm over here dying about don't smoke the lettuce.
Yeah, you're not supposed to smoke
Yeah, not
the
supposed to
lettuce,
smoke the
dude.
lettuce. I'm over here crying, laughing so hard. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, don't smoke the lettuce. I don't think there's any benefit.
I don't think you're supposed to do that. No, I don't think you're not supposed to smoke the lettuce.
Is it probably pretty hard to cure, dude? It's got a massive water concentration.
Yeah, it gets warm,
Yeah.
It starts to bolt, What are you gonna do?
Yeah. No, I love cannabis. All parts of it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You got to use all of it.
And the hemp cannabis.
Yeah.
Or the cannabis hemp.
That is a false or misleading statement, Dave.
I didn't label it.
Wow.
I didn't put a label on it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, another great episode.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so we hope you enjoy 710.
Yeah.
Let us know what you did for 710, what you did to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. You know what? I'll even do a dab on 710.
No, same. Definitely, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
From my Dr. Dabber.
Wow.
You know it. Oh, yeah.
SDP at checkout for 10%
That's
off.
right.
DrDabber.com. Go get you one.
Yep. We love you all. Smoke weed every day. Peace.
Yo, ding dong, we're done here. Time to go.
Donuts!